Investor's Edge with Gary Kaltbaum. Straight talk about you and your money. Now from the BizTalk studios, here is Gary Kaltbaum.
And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. I'm Gary Kaltbaum, your host. Hey, thanks for being with us today. Glad you're here, ladies and gentlemen. Happy that you are listening. It is Thursday, I think. It is, April 18th, 2024. As always, we are the most important show you will ever listen to. We don't have 7 billion followers or 7 billion listeners, but we have no agenda, no ulterior motive, no bias. And we are the most logical people on earth. That's who we are. We are not into conspiracy theories. We're into facts. And we don't play footsie. And the reason we say that at the get-go, because we got a couple of things to discuss as we start the show. But first, if you do not get this radio show in your city, we'll post it at GaryK.com. We'll also post it on my Twitter feed, which is X. And you can just follow us on Twitter or go to X and put our name in. And of course, you can email me. Just be nice. And if you do not get this radio show in your city, we'll post it on GaryK.com. I just said that. We'll also post it on all the podcast apps. Check that out. All right, we're done. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've seen people block the Golden Gate Bridge, some important highways and byways around the country. They all have one thing in common. They are protesting the apartheid of Israel. They are protesting what is happening in Gaza. They are protesting against Israel. So I just want to let you know that, and I'm going to circle back to why it's important to discuss this, because it all really does circle back on who is running the joint, being this great country of ours. And as we've told you, this country is great not because of them, but because of us. And I want to let you know, and this is really important, when you see these videos of people, and I saw one of a woman with the mask on, or the whole thing, saying, "We are Hamas," and yelling and screaming, maniacally yelling and screaming, "We are Hamas." And by the way, we will circle back on all this, why it affects everything else. And all I'm thinking to myself is, if this woman was at that festival, 10 of those terrorists would have taken her, raped her, shoved things in her, videoed her and sent it to her family, and then shot her in the head dead, and then probably just take out a machete and cut her up. That's what they would have done to this woman that's yelling, "We are Hamas." And then you get the rest. Israel, apartheid. Do you know what apartheid is? Go look it up. Israel is the opposite of apartheid. Completely opposite of apartheid. The most welcoming country in the world. Jews, Christians, Muslims. Every race, creed, color, denomination, gender. Live there, work there, pray there, play there. They're not complaining. They want to go about their business. They don't want terrorism. During Ramadan, hundreds of thousands of Muslims prayed in Jerusalem. Apartheid. Across the border, if you are gay, if you are trans, they will murder you in the middle of the street in front of people cheering. They will pay off terrorists who murder anybody. Apartheid. So we just want to let you know a couple of things. Number one, here's the good news. You see these people, we can call them whatever we want, that are blocking bridges and stuff. They are a very very slim minority. It's just they are videoed and they are loud. And do you know why Israel is so great? And do you know why Jewish people are so great? And we're just generalizing here for a second, because on the morning of being attacked by Iran, they were practicing Pilates in parks outdoor. They were at the beach. They were going to work. Moms were with their kids with the strollers. They were going about their business. And you know what the rest of us do while these people are blocking roads? While they're going broke? We're going about our business. The 99.9% plus going about our business. Unfortunately, they get the headlines. And now here is my problem. We have people in Washington, D.C. that have been elected that hate this country and hate the Jewish state. They are racist anti-Semites. Rashida Tlaib was asked the other day about people yelling death to America, and she would not answer the question about whether she backs it or not, or whether she's against it. Imagine that. A sitting congresswoman would not answer the question about death to America. And the same goes for the rest of those squad people. There was a vote in the House on denouncing the attack by Iran on Israel. They voted present or against it. These people have a vote on our future. And then there's Joe Biden. I was thinking to myself, do you remember the George Floyd? The voices were so loud when the George Floyd incident happened. I call it the George Floyd murder. Guys, I'm more on that police guy. But that's besides the point. Have you heard our President of the United States vociferously go after people yelling death to America? We are Hamas. Has he gone after these colleges? He hasn't said a word. Columbia University right now is inundated with racist anti-Semites yelling and screaming, "We are Hamas," and "death to Israel." Not a word. And then there's the media. Do you remember George Floyd? 24/7. How America was racist against blacks. Whites are racist against blacks 24/7. Look what and the police suck. They are covering the Taylor Swift album, what the Kardashians are wearing today. Anything but. Just making my point, and therein lies what I consider to be the overall problem. And that is what eventually is going to happen because of the underreporting of so many vital things that the people running the country are doing to us on a longer term basis. It all intertwines. We keep working our asses off. We keep sending them tons of taxes, records every year, and they keep running up the register for themselves in order to buy votes. And the reason why Biden will not yell and scream about all this because he's been losing the Muslim vote because he dared back Israel from the get-go. And of course, he's moved 14 different times sideways and backwards in order to keep them in good stead. So we just want to let you know where we stand. We believe everybody should be respected, every race, creed, color, gender, denomination. Does not matter. We believe everybody, from the guy who cleans the toilets at your school to the principal of the school, the CEO of the company to the guy who cleans the floors. Respectful. And that's it. And we're always amazing. You know what we do? We laugh at racists. We think they're a joke. But we just want to let you know up front, we know it looks like there's a lot of them. It's not. But unfortunately in the colleges, you got a lot of professors. We'll wind it up and then got a couple other things for you. I'm Gary. This is the one and only Investor's Edge.
Hi, I'm Gary Kaltbaum, host of the nationally syndicated radio show Investor's Edge. We're not just handsome radio people. We manage investors' money for a living, specializing in fee-based discretionary money management. No big commissions, just a fee on the assets that's managed. We also provide a full range of personalized services, including retirement planning, fixed income, and educational needs, all to assist you in achieving your financial goals. Understanding not all individuals have the same needs, we'll carefully evaluate your personal goals to determine a proper investment strategy. If your current approach to investing is not getting you to where you would like to be, call us to make an appointment for a complimentary portfolio review. The number to call is 888-422-5559. That's 888-422-5559. That's 888-422-5559. Investment advisory services offered through Kaltbaum Capital Management.
It's time to switch on the integrator units and get the brain cells working.
You're listening to
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Investor's Edge
The last bastion of quality programming.
with Gary Kaltbaum.
It doesn't get better than this.
So, and let me be clear, this goes for Trump, who said if you're Jewish and you vote for Democrats, you're not really Jewish and you don't love Israel. Oh, in fact, you hate Israel. It goes for that also. And I can go on and on. We will stand fast by anybody who is in the rule of law. And it doesn't matter if you're short or tall, skinny or fat. Doesn't matter where you're from, what you've been, who you are. We are completely for immigration, but not what Joe Biden has done on purpose. We want logic back into the system. And I'm afraid the two people running for presidency in November, complete lack of logic. Whoever wins, we'll see how it goes, and we'll try to be a much bigger voice. Okay. We segue. First, let me state for the record that another big company reported earnings after the close, and that is Netflix. I have it down $31 in the aftermarket, which does not help the cause of a deteriorating market. And as we have told you, we thought we were in corrective mode, and specifically on technology. We told you we sold all our technology stocks except for Meta the day after March 8th, and it just keeps worsening and worsening. We told you bearish phases are made up of hot opens and weak closes. The NASDAQ today finished down 81. It was up 100 early. The Dow was up 300 early, finished only up 22. So it worsens. I have been asked a dozen times over the last day, do I think we're going into a bear market or just correction? The answer is I have absolutely no clue, but we'll know in the days and weeks ahead. We just know the uptrend has near-term turned into downtrend, and the technology arena worsens. We also know another part of the equation on technology. It is the most over-owned overloved and overleveraged in its history, which means when things turn the other way, the greed turns slowly into fear, which leans into more selling. And as more support levels are taken out, institutions get invited to sell more. Now, keep in mind, we have a massive amount of earnings over the next few weeks, including the big matzo balls. But every day worsens a little. I will tell you, Microsoft, which is the number one weighting in the NASDAQ 100, broke below the 50-day yesterday a little bit, but really did it today. Was actually leading down a little bit today. That's just another one. Broadcom, AVGO, broke the 50-day a little bit yesterday, more today. You know about other semiconductors we've been warning you about as the semiconductors are broke. And then Tesla just keeps, the misery keeps on going and going and going. But I needed to segue because something came up this morning that hit my inbox by one of my peeps. Has anybody ever heard of a company called 23andMe? Because I think I heard it in passing a while back. Because 23andMe is going to be taken private. Private, which means it trades, and then they're going to take it private by just gobbling up the company. We just want to let you know 23andMe finished at 50 cents today. 50 cents. We just want to let you know this came out as a SPAC at $10. Hyped it up to 18, and it's going to be taken out in the pennies. And we just want to remind you how Wall Street is this great place that have made people wealthy beyond their years. But if you follow the stupid, and you can't call them criminals because it's legal, but you follow the unethical, you can lose your butt. Those SPACs, they changed the name to Special Purpose Acquisition Corp, but they were really blind pools. When I started in this industry many years ago, I was at a penny stock firm. We did blind pools. And what it is, it enables you to bring something public without going through all the taking it public and doing the road shows and this, that, and the other thing. And what Wall Street did is, for the most part, and they have 2 years to merge it with a company or it goes by the wayside. What Wall Street did, these slime bags merged with crap, speculative crap. And a bunch of companies all said the same thing. We're merging with a startup electric vehicle company or a battery company. They were scammers. And they got it frothed up. One of the big guys, Chamath, whatever his name is, did a bunch of them and sold out and made $1 billion and got the hell out of the way. He knew. What was it, Virgin Galactic? That's down like 99%. SPCE, oh, that's at 97 cents right now. They got that thing up to $57, even though they never sent a rocket up. Because they touted the hell out of you. We keep bringing these things up because we want you to remember this stuff. Because these people suck. They take advantage of you and your emotions. And they will bring dog crap public if they think you'd buy it. Remember, I once gave you this stupid, moronic example. And I might as well do that stupid, moronic example again. Imagine if you were walking your dog, my precious Winston. And imagine I'm walking the dog, and Winston does what he's got to do on the grass. And somebody walks over and says, "I'll pay you $10 for that." Sure, give me the $10. And then somebody walks up to him and says, "I'll pay you $20. Sure, give me the 20. I doubled my money. And the next guy walks up and says, "I'll pay you $100. Hell yeah. I just made 5 times your money. And then the next guy walks up and says, I'll pay you $1,000. Oh, man, yeah. I made 10 times the money. And then the next guy is an investment banker. You're telling me this thing started out at $1, went to 5 and 10, and then 100 and 1,000? Gets on his cell phone. Hey, Mo, from the Three Stooges, let me tell you about what we can do with this company. Dog Crap Unlimited. It started at $1. It's now 1,000. Let's bring it public. Oh, we can't bring it public. They'll laugh at us. Oh, let's put it in a SPAC. Oh, yeah, let's do that. And they would put that in a SPAC. Now, of course, this is an extreme example, but you get my point. People got destroyed on these SPACs. Brought to you by Wall Street. We want you to remember that. Up next, today, I'm Gary. This is the one and only Investor's Edge.
You're listening to
America is talking.
Investor's Edge.
He's got to be pleased with that. The crowd is just on its feet here. He's a Cinderella boy.
With Gary Kaltbaum.
Comes highly recommended. You're going to feel better if you talk to him.
As usual, Netflix was down 31. It's now down 14. It's all over the map as they say things and do things, and then they'll have a conference call and tell you everything's great. We'll see how it finishes up. Netflix stock has had a good run, and I will say this, I think they managed the company pretty smartly recently with the getting rid of the sharing the passwords and stuff like that. I have a bone to pick with them because they're out of nowhere started charging me more than I was paying without even telling me, and I'm calling them up and saying, I'm starting over. And who knows, maybe it'll be up by the time we finish this show. It's only down $12 right now. We'll see. I have no idea. But the big story is the NASDAQ was up 100 early, finished down 80. The Dow was up 300, finished only up 22. And as we tell you, in bearish phases, one of the big characteristics, doesn't have to happen every day, but happens a lot. They will open it hot and sell it down. Institutions, the big institutions using the hot opens to distribute stock back into the market. And we got that again today. And I will tell you, of importance is that semiconductor group. The SOX was down another 75 today, following up on yesterday off of ASML, which got trashed. That was down another 20 and change. ARM Holdings yesterday topped out, down another 3. Lam Research down 29. KLA down 19. So very weak equipment makers. And the worry is it over for the semis? I can tell you right now it is. It's top for now. How do you know this, Gary? Well, we're good at reading the tape. Now, if this is just a correction, I want you to go back and look at the chart from mid-July to the end of October. You had 3 legs down. The NASDAQ went down during that time from 14,446 to 12,543. What is that, about 13%? And we're not saying it's exactly going to happen and do that and this and the other thing, but sometimes corrections will have 3 legs down before they turn back up. The S&P at the time went from 4,600 to 4,100. That's only about 11% and change. The Dow at the time went from 35,679 to 32,327. That was only about 9%. And as of right now, our thought process is never predicting that. But our thought process is we're hoping that's all it is. But that thought process doesn't really matter much. What matters is every night we scan a ton of names, a ton of sectors, a ton of countries, a ton of commodities, and just stay in lockstep or a step ahead, and hopefully it stops, leadership shows up, and we're on our way. That's all we're trying to do right now. We got the gold. We got Meta still because it's still performing, though doing nothing in recent weeks, but still performing. After that, we let loose everything else. We told you that. We don't usually do that. But that's the story. And that doesn't mean we think we're going into a bear market. We just think that it could be painful. And we don't. Let me give you one. We sold AMD at like 204. It's 154. We had no idea it would go to 154. We just knew it topped out in the semiconductors. Ignore that. So that's the story of the day. Another hot open. And it was hot for an hour, and then the sellers came in, and we don't like the fact that semiconductors are really getting more painful here. They are the leading group, as we've told you. Today, financials were up, but they've already been hit. The Dow was up a little bit. One stock, United Health, doing the trick today. Insurance bounced, some of the food and beverage bounced, but just a lot of mixed bag of slop today. What also has my interest is the freaking 10-year yield up another, went to 4.647, up 0.62 today, and yields this second are in an uptrend. We don't like that. The higher yields go, the cost of capital to you, all the way to the biggest gargantuan corporations go higher. Cost of capital. Oil prices stop going up, a little pullback at this moment. That's good news. Let's hope that continues. Yeah, a little pullback on oil prices, but copper's higher, a few other commodities higher. And we'll see what the hell, how it finishes up. By the way, Netflix now is only down. By the way, it just moved $10 in a second. It's down 13. It just went to be down 23 again, and within a nanosecond, rallied $10. Welcome to my aftermarket, by the way, which, by the way, some people like playing. I think people are nuts to play the aftermarket. There is no edge. It is pure luck. Be careful. Earnings. Tomorrow, Oh, I forgot to mention Taiwan Semiconductor, another semiconductor stock that broke the 50-day today. Rough going. Apple, another tough day. Tesla down another 5. By the way, all the analysts that have had buy recommendations on Tesla are now changing them to sells. And I have to make note, and this is not to wee on anything, but I have to make note and why it's so important to just watch the market. Are you ready? March 11th, Barron's, front cover, bet on the bull. Barron's today, why the stock market will continue to fall and what to do now. Barron's is this big thing that comes out every Saturday, but they also write during the week. Why would they go from bet on the bull to why the stock market will continue to fall? Oh, because the market already fell. We've got to be careful about that. And again, we're not trying to wee on them. We're just letting you know, watch the market. March 8th was the day that we told you a big characteristic showed up, and that was that huge reversal in the semis. We called it an exhaustion reversal top, and it's played out and continues to play out even today. And I must tell you, I was even surprised by today. I was surprised. We were up 100 early. I wasn't buying into it, but I'm surprised they dropped that sucker and finished down 82. And with the semis leading, it tells you that price on the downside has not, watch the big word, sated the institutions just yet. If that changes, we'll let you know. But I'm starting to believe we may be in that camp of 3 legs to the downside, but we'll just take it day by day. And if you want to know what we mean by 3 legs, which is kind of normal, just go look what the market did from July to the end of October. drop, bounce, drop, bounce, drop, bottom. 3 legs, and then we're on our way. This time, though, don't know. Could it turn into something worse? Yes. Let me put it best. We just know we're in downtrends now. We don't need to make bets on whether it's a bear or not. We just know we're in downtrends, and we'll let more cards come out of the deck as we move forward. And again, thousands of earnings to come out in the next few weeks. That'll tell the tale. Netflix is a big name. By the way, it's now down about, dropped a little bit, 13, 20. But that'll change. They got to do a conference call and tell you how great everything is. What do you think? Companies come out and say everything stinks? And I'm sure somewhere in here they'll throw in artificial intelligence. I saw one company mentioned it 51 times in their conference call the other day, a couple of weeks ago. And that's a little bit about the market. Yick. New yearly highs, really hardly any. New yearly lows, about 300 on the New York and NASDAQ. And when I mean no new yearly highs, I mean it. I'm looking at the list right now, and it shows up as a few, but then you look, this is just some non-operating companies. Yeah, on the NASDAQ, I don't see any. On the New York, Wells Fargo, new yearly high. Elevance, new yearly high. Managed care. Something called Badger Meter, new yearly high. That's it. Up next, this, that, and the other thing, and whatever else. This is the one and only Investor's Edge.
You're listening to
What are we waiting for?
Well, what are you waiting for?
1, 2, ready, go.
Action!
Investor's Edge with Gary Kaltbaum.
And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. In the news, well, let's say in the Nut House news. North Carolina high school student is suspended for saying illegal alien in class. And not only, let me say this, he just asked a question about what an illegal alien is, and he was suspended. You think the world's going nuts? By the way, in the law, it says illegal alien. He was suspended. I don't know what comes of it, but the world is going freaking nuts. It's going nuts. No, really, it's going nuts. In the news, here's what's not going nuts. Hawaii. My home away from home. Been there 12 times. Inside the late-night parties where Hawaii politicians raked in money after the state passed a law barring government contractors from donating to politicians. Fundraising parties show just how completely the reform effort failed. These contractors went to parties and filled envelopes with cash and gave it to the politicians. They are now just finding this out. A typical party could bring in thousands of dollars in donations, giving some elected officials almost half their annual campaign haul in a single night. Hawaii. By the way, it's been well known Hawaii in the past. There's been a lot of this crap going on, but they try to do something about what is called corruption. And now they are reeling again from a corruption scandal about taking bribes from prominent business people. And one of them decided to turn and wore a wire. And there's a few that are going to be in trouble. Yay. You don't think that's going on? Really? It happens in plain sight these days, ladies and gentlemen. No, it does. Hey, in the news, we told you, what was it? Intel getting millions. Well, Micron is now getting $6 billion in grants from the Department of Commerce. Not $6 billion going to homeless that need to have a house and some food. Like I explained to you, the homeless man that I met, that I helped out. But to Micron, who's made billions of dollars throughout the years, give them $6 billion to build factory projects that they can afford themselves. Don't care to take care of the veterans. Let's give it to Micron. Just letting you know. Just letting you know. I'm letting you know as president what I'd be doing. We got to lift up the people that needs the most lifting in every way, shape, or form. And if we can do that, great. Hey, in the news, I just got this little thing and I want to let you know about greatness. You ready? The time it takes to generate $1 billion in revenue. You ready for this? Are you ready? Walmart, every 12 hours, $1 billion in revenue. I am not making that up. Amazon, every 13 hours, $1 billion in revenue. Can that be right? Let me make sure of that. Yeah. Apple, every 18 hours, $1 billion in revenue. Alphabet, Google, 1 day, $1 billion in revenue. Microsoft, 1 day. Costco, 2 days. JP Morgan, 2 days. Facebook, 2 days. Ford, 2 days. Home Depot, 3 days. ExxonMobil, 3 days. AT&T, 3 days. FedEx, 4 days. UPS, 4 days. Disney, 4 days. Unbelievable. Billion. That is an unbelievable number. I just had to read that to you. That we got such great companies out there. Unbelievable how much wealth these companies have created. I was reading, I think I said it the other day, Walmart, there's some managers making $400,000 a year that started out as cashiers. Remember when Bernie Sanders was complaining about Walmart because they weren't unionized? That Yutz Bernie? Yeah, go work 32 hours and get paid the same amount while the next guy works 50 and you get fired and he gets promoted. Don't you love Marxists? Interesting, huh? Yeah, Walmart manager. They did a story about one that makes $240,000 a year. Start as a cashier. In the news, well, they're reporting on the things we told you a long time ago. That who the heck wants to sell a home with a 3% mortgage, which, by the way, was given to you by one man, Jay Powell, and now get a different house for a 7% mortgage. That's why there's not a lot of inventory. Who the heck wants to sell when you go to buy another one? And in case you don't know, go get what is known as an amortization table and just go put in a 30-year mortgage for $500,000 or $250,000, whatever number you think, and use 3% and then go use 7% and watch the difference in payments. Not only monthly, but over the lifetime. And of course, as we tell you, we think the 30-year mortgage is a scam. We think you should always do a 15 because you don't pay down the principal on a 30-year mortgage to like the 15th year. Maybe it's even the 18th year. And do an amortization table on a 15-year versus a 30-year. Your payment's higher, but you're paying down principal day one. And that's, I think, very important. Buy a little less house and do a 15-year. And I'm pretty sure that's about all I got in news of the day today. The Mets. I take it all back what I said after the first 5 games. They're playing great ball now. And as you know, I'm a maniacal Mets fan, so I'm a happy camper. It's early in the year. They started out 0-5. Depression was setting in. I believe they're 10-8 right now. Yay. And my Knicks, the number 2 seed, my lowly Knicks, who haven't won a NBA championship since '72, I think they have like a little bit of a shot this year. But they lost a great player to injury. We'll see how it goes. Netflix now down more. We'll see how that affects things tomorrow. Netflix, I got $22. That said, not a great day again. Market's under distribution. We'll let you know if it changes. Tomorrow I'll be on with Neil Cavuto, noon hour, Fox Business Network. Check it out. And until tomorrow, have a great evening. Drive carefully. And when you get home, do like we do. Quite simple. Make sure you hug your family. Make sure you hug your children. Make sure you hug your dog. They will feel better. You will feel better. I promise. Peace out, all. Thanks for joining. Good night.
This has been Investor's Edge with Gary Kaltbaum on BizTalk. To listen to past episodes or to get in contact with Gary, go to GaryK.com. That's GaryK.com.